In 2014, Freewing, in collaboration with Motion RC, introduced its first 90mm F-16 Fighting Falcon EDF jet. As a premier addition to their superscale foam EDF jet series, this model has generated significant acclaim and has remained a favorite in many EDF pilots' hangars for years. To commemorate this model's 10th year anniversary, Freewing and Motion RC proudly present the next generation of its customers' favorite, the version 2 F-16 Fighting Falcon. Pilots, it's your product specialist Wesley from here at Motion RC, and I am excited today to go all into details of the Freewing version 2 F-16. This one's been out for a little bit now, but I'm finally getting around to doing this full overview video for you, show you every detail of this aircraft I can today, and I cannot wait, because this is one of my absolute favorite releases of the last year. I've had an absolute blast flying this airplane. I've seen a ton of these at events, and guys are really, really loving this model, and I'm super happy it's here. So let's start diving into it, showing you around the version 2 F-16, and we'll start talking about some of its features. So just like with any other Freewing model, this one has a removable nose cone up on the front. This makes it a lot easier to store these if you like to stand them up on their nose. You also have the pitot tube up on the front that can be slid in and out. For our grass ops guys that are afraid of tearing this off with any kind of nose over accident, just pop that out before you fly. As we move back on the model, you're going to see that you have the antenna detail up on the top. Those are pre-installed out of the box. You also have all of the other antennas as you come back. These are pitot tubes and other types of like ADS antennas. Really cool details. Then we come to the cockpit, and this was such a nice feature that was added on the version 2 of this aircraft. You have the heads-up display now that is fully functioning. You've got that green light backing it, and that green light is actually operated off of 2 little posts underneath the battery bay that are going to provide power to it whenever you take the canopy on and off. So you don't have to worry about a wire that you're going to have to try and juggle between this. This just pops on and off really easy. Now, for any customers that ordered the first round of F-16s, you got the included upgrade cockpit details for it. But for anybody ordering it now on the website, it is going to be available as an optional part. You just go to the spare part sections of Motion RC and you can see it. There's the upgraded 90mm cockpit detail. So if you choose to use that, go on and get one ordered up. It's really simple to get those installed and painted up, and it looks really sharp in the model. Now, as we move back a little bit further, the next big change from the original version is your leading edge extensions going up on the aircraft are now plastic. You don't have to worry about tearing these up anymore when you're transporting it, fingernails, anything like that. These nice sharp points of your aircraft are going to stay looking precise and perfect. Speaking of those plastic details in the cockpit, if you pop off the canopy, you're going to notice that the entire outside of the canopy was cladded in plastic now. This way, when you're putting batteries in and out, servicing anything inside the battery bay, you're not going to have to worry about dinging that up either. Really nice touch here. Now, as we keep moving back on the aircraft, you're going to start noticing all of the details that were added to the top of this. Now, I know I've heard some of our customers say, why'd you put rivets on an F-16? It's because it looks cool when you take it out of the box, guys. That's the whole goal of this on every one of these, is to make them as visually stunning as they can be right out of the box. And those little bit of rivet details really add a lot to the way these look. And I'm going to tell you right now, the wings, the fuselage, every part of this model has those little rivet details, inspection hatches, all of that done for you right out of the box, and they look absolutely stunning on this aircraft. Now, as we move back a little bit more towards the tail section of the aircraft, you're going to notice that it does have antennas all throughout. These are friction fit in. You can push them in and out if you'd like, or if you choose, you could glue them in also so you don't lose them at a later date. Now, your tail graphics, your insignias, all of that is done for you right out of the box. You don't have to put a single decal on this or a single bit of paint. It is all done for you right out of the box. And then you're going to also notice, as we're back here on the tail, that these are pocketed hinges, and the servos are mounted in just like they've been doing in a lot of the models now, where the servo goes into a little pocket, 2 screws the actual cover on, and that's what holds your servo in. So if you need to service them, you can just take the 2 screws out, pop the servo out, unplug it, put a new one in, bada bing, bada boom, you're back up and flying. Really nice on that. Also on the tail, you have a strobe beacon on the top and a solid nav light on the rear. While we're back here also, we can't forget one of the biggest party tricks that were a change on the version 2. We now have working speed brakes on the aft section of the aircraft. Really slick little detail there. And this is the first model that I know of an F-16 that actually has working air brakes, so pretty dang cool there. The tail surfaces on the F-16 are full flying stabs, just like the original version. For customers that want, you do have the option by bypassing in the blue box. Simply unplug the 2 elevator servos, put them into your receiver, and you could have tailerons versus just the normal elevator as it comes out of the box. Now, if we go back up to the wings, we're going to start talking about some of the ordnance that comes with this aircraft. The cool thing, it all comes in the box with this one. You're getting every one of the missiles, the drop tanks, everything right out of the box. These work with our proprietary missile rail system here at Motion RC, so if you have some of your original ordnance from some of your other aircraft that use the same system, you can mix and match with these, change some things out, do what you want. The only one that's really different is the drop tank. Now has a new style of rail on it. On the original version, the drop tanks used magnets or you could glue them on. Now we have these larger missile rail systems for larger ordnance. Now, just for a second, I do want to go over the lighting package of the F-16 kind of more in detail. So you do have the red and the green nav lights out on the wingtips. You have the strobes up on the intake. You have the landing light on the main landing gear door, the strobes at the top of the tail, and the light on the inside of the cockpit. This gives such a beautiful look to this airplane, and you can see these actually in the middle of the day, or if you're flying at dusk, they actually really help with orientation, especially this new style of LED they're doing on the wings to where there's one facing up and facing down. They really pop out in the sky. Now, if we flip the aircraft upside down, we can start to look at some of the details underneath the aircraft. The rivets and the panel lines were also done all underneath, so nothing was skimped there. You're also going to notice some of the best landing gear of any Freewing model to date. These have been reinforced and re-engineered from the original version. A lot of the components do not work from version 1 to version 2 now, because of how much was changed. Now, what you're going to notice first up on the nose gear is the nose gear door is now a plastic molded component, whereas in the original version these were fiberglass. You'll also notice that the landing gear is all painted white for you now, and these are still machined aluminum. Now, the actual mount plates down inside of the F-16's front landing gear are reinforced and made even beefier now. And the rear gear doors, once again, are now plastic. So you've got the details inside. They have magnets on them to help hold them closed during flight. And you're going to notice, once again, the landing gear are all painted and machined aluminum. And these things are the coolest things ever when they're going up and down. All the little linkages and everything that fold on each other. Really a cool landing gear system. While we're underneath, we're going to talk about some of the cheater vents. Now, this aircraft needs that extra airflow, especially with that scale landing gear in front of it. It kind of keeps a lot of the air from coming back to the fan. So you're going to notice there are 3 cheater holes on the bottom, and there are 2 of the spring-loaded doors on the top. The spring-loaded doors, the more throttle you give, the more they open. It's pretty neat how that all works. Right behind the cheater fans is the ventral fins. Now, these are made out of wood on this aircraft. They screw on with 2 screws. And if you were to break one of these, it's pretty easy to cut them out. They are available as an extra part, but just so you know, those are made out of wood. They're attached right on top of your fan access hole. Now, if we open up the fan access hole, you're going to see our Freewing 90mm 12-bladed EDF with a 3668 1960 kV in-runner motor powering it inside. Now for customers that get the 8S version, you're going to get the updated 4075 1350 kV power system. Both versions of the F-16 use the new 120 amp brushless ESC with 7 amp UBAC and thrust reversing. Speaking of the motor, it's a great time to talk about afterburner. If you're running the 6S version of the F-16, you're going to want this Freewing specific afterburner that's going to bolt right onto the back of the motor. For customers running the 8S version, you're going to want the Freewing universal tail flame afterburner that bolts onto the back using the motor plate. Now, another huge update to the F-16 is the quick release wings. I cannot tell you how nice of a quality of life change this is when you go to these aircraft that are the newer Freewing ones with the quick connect wings. You push the 2 buttons, you slide the wing off, you take the 1 connector and then slide your carbon spars out, throw them in the fuselage, and you are ready to head to the field. It is the nicest quality of life change you are gonna make when you switch to these newer Freewing models. The new version 2 F-16 also has an extremely large battery bay. So for customers flying 6S, you're not going to have any issue getting a 5,000 milliamp Admiral or even the 6,000 50C pack in there. And for customers that fly 8S, I like to either run a 5,000 milliamp 6S battery with a 2S 5,000 milliamp LiPo, or 2 4S 5,000 milliamp Admiral Pro packs to make 8S. So no matter what battery option you use in the F-16, you're going to have plenty of room inside the model. Now the paint job on this aircraft is the 64th Aggressor Camo Livery. It's a striking, historically inspired camouflage design. They use these to actually train our pilots over here in the United States. So a lot of customers have been curious why it has the red stars on it, and that is because they are simulating that this is a Russian fighter jet when they're training with it. This is actually a United States military scheme, and it is really a striking one to see in the air. Guys, this is the all-new version 2 F-16. If you haven't checked them out, they are available right now here at motionrc.com and motionrc.eu. It is one of the finest aircraft in the Freewing lineup currently, and I cannot recommend enough putting one of these in your hangar today. I've been Wes from Motion RC, and whether it's air, land, or sea, you can get it right here at motionrc.com. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.